Hello, good friends, and welcome to another episode of the 10,000 Layups podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Radke. I'm here with Julian Andrews. Julian, what's up, man?
We are moved in to the new house, which is great news. We are not unpacked, so that's less good news. But
Lots of good news.
but
But
we're working on it.
step one, moved in. Step two, for the next 12 years, you'll just have boxes lying around.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I signed up for.
We are recording this on a Monday morning. We're 5 days after the draft, and it seems like so much has happened. You might be asking yourself, well, why I didn't see a post-draft podcast? Well, you're right. Julian was moving in this weekend, and I was at a bachelor party. So after a 4-day bachelor party, you could imagine how I feel right now.
Probably pretty horrible.
Yeah, not great, Julian. Even with yesterday to recoup and recover, you don't bounce back like you used to. It's like playing. Yeah, I'm in the regular season, and there's I'm playing 4 games in 5 nights. Like that's how I feel right now.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I need I need the All-Star break. Oh, all right. We want to thank our good friends over at DraftKings. I don't know if you guys know this. You can actually wager on the Olympics via DraftKings, which is super cool. The games are underway, and DraftKings is bringing you to the podium. Not you, Julian, the people. Well, maybe you too.
Maybe.
DraftKings free-to-play pools, which I've been talking about forever, are available every day during the Tokyo Olympics, and they're offering a free shot to up to $50,000 in total cash prizes. Again, $50,000. Download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use a promo code TBPN when you sign up and get your free shot at up to $50,000 in total cash prizes every day during the Olympics. Head to the DraftKings pools page and get your shot at huge cash prizes. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details. Julian, for the Timberwolves, the biggest talker, obviously, outside of the draft is they did not make a pick, but I think it was right before the draft. It was we're getting all these Woj bombs about the Lakers are going to trade for Buddy Hield, and then the Lakers actually got Russell Westbrook and blah, blah, blah. And then sneakily under the radar was the Timberwolves sent Ricky Rubio to the Cavaliers. So, let's unpack this. And I guess if you're listening and you're Timberwolves fans, you've probably heard every single angle there is so far. So hopefully we give you new ones. I don't know.
Probably not, but we'll see.
Probably not. Okay, so the exact trade was right away. I think there was some confusion. I think Woj tweeted out that it was Ricky Rubio cash and a second-round pick for Taurean Prince, and I think people were kind of confused. Not that a second-round pick in cash is all that much, but it's wait, why are we giving up extra for Taurean Prince? I don't understand that. Instead, it's just the opposite. It's the Timberwolves are giving up Ricky Rubio to the Cavaliers in exchange for Prince, a second-round pick next year, and cash considerations. So that's the trade in a nutshell. What it does for the Timberwolves cap wise is Rubio is due $17.8 million next year, I believe, and and Prince is worth he's due $13 million. So the Wolves save $4.8 million. Will they use that money in cap space this year? Maybe. Will Prince be with the Timberwolves next year? Maybe. Let's dive into kind of the Ricky Rubio situation. So It was about a year ago in which we were saying, welcome back, Ricky. Life's great. It's good to have you back. And I think the Timberwolves, the social media team, they were sending out I'm coming home videos. I think a lot of it is a guy who was such a huge Ricky Rubio fan when he came over. A lot of how we view Ricky now is just based on how we viewed him 10 years ago as this guy who could change the team and change the franchise. And it's pretty clear he's not that because he's played in four cities in 4 years now. Your thoughts overall on the move?
Well, I think it's kind of what you said. It's more of an emotional blow than it is to anything on the court because, Ricky wasn't that good last year. It's the neutral move. I like Torian Prince. I think he's a fine player, and if he's still on the team and like plays 20 minutes a game for the Wolves next year, like that's good. I think he's good. I think he's a guy who you might want on your team. I think, like, remember when he was in Brooklyn, he was part of those teams that played well. In on the Cavs, he didn't really do much, but who did much on the Cavs, right? I mean, so I think Torian Prince is a fine guy to target. He's probably a little bit overpaid, but it's not like a crazy contract. It does clear up cap room. But I think, I saw a lot of people saying this on Twitter. It's like, if this is the move, you're kind of screwed, because this is not improving the team all that much. But then again, I think we can fairly safely say this is probably not the move. My question is, like, is it going to be a trade? Do they think they can get a free agent? I hope that Rosas and Co are not thinking that they're going to be able to attract like a top kind of mid-level guy, because those guys are going to go to other places. Those guys are not going to sign in Minnesota. So if this is a move to clear up cap space for free agency, I think we're probably headed for another pretty difficult year.
Yeah, like if it's Prince and Hernan Gomez and McDaniels at power forward, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of gross. Let's get into like what it means for each player, and then like maybe what it means for the Wolves a little bit more here. So for Rubio, again, he goes to Cleveland, probably going to play that third guard behind Sexton and Garland. If Sexton remains in Cleveland, there's some rumblings that he could get moved.
It's not a bad spot for Rubio, honestly.
No, it's fine. I mean, for him, I'm sure it's probably not what he prefers. Like, I think like eventually I'd like to see Rubio on like a really good team playing like backup point guard minutes, but
he's kind of just becoming the guard mentor, though.
Yeah.
And that's an exciting young team, honestly, now with Mobley there. So.
And he is only 30. I mean, he's going to be 31 years old next year, so like he's still young. But like when you just look at like points per game and averages last year, all career lows for Rubio. 26 minutes per game. He only shot 38.8%, his worst mark since he was 25 years old. 30% from the 3-point line, which is just miserable. His worst since he was 26. Assists down, rebounds down, points down. But I mean, again, still 8.6 assists per game. He's still Ricky Rubio. I guess my thing is, it's funny how the Timberwolves diehards who are like, you can't get rid of Ricky Rubio because Anthony Edwards wants him there.
Yeah.
And my God, like, I agree. Like, I agree. Like, having Ricky Rubio is good for Anthony Edwards, but in 10 years from now, like, we're not even going to remember that Ricky Rubio played with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. It just doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, if them trading Ricky Rubio is not going to be the thing that stops Anthony Edwards from becoming great. If Anthony Edwards is going to become great, he'll do it without Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
Like, I understand like the emotional connection. Like, it's sad. They were friends. It was a kind of cute relationship. Anthony Edwards wanted to learn Spanish. Like, I get it. But at the same time, yeah, this shouldn't matter if he's that good.
I agree. And if we're already playing like we need to make this guy happy, so he wants to stay here longer
by keeping a very good point guard.
Yeah, by keeping a backup point guard who no team really wants for more than 1 year. Okay, but I think what it might mean for the Wolves, and this actually makes me kind of happy because I didn't anticipate this happening, and certainly it could not happen. The Timberwolves, it was reported by, I think Darren Wolfson had it, that they offered the qualifying offer for Jordan McLaughlin, which means he's a restricted free agent, which means the Wolves can kind of match whatever a team throws at him, and we'll see what it is. But because you look at the depth chart, and we talked before about how you have Russell, you have Rubio, and you have McLaughlin. Like, you certainly don't need those many point guards. And now it seems like maybe unless something else happens, which there's a lot of point. I mean, it's a very point guard heavy class, but you might be able to get McLaughlin at a discount, and where like he's your primary backup. So like, I'm not like, I don't like, if you're seeing the like, even if they don't make another move and they just save that money that I guess they'll probably spend on McLaughlin's contract, I guess. But if it like for Rosas to recognize like basically just simple like, hey, we can swap Rubio for a power forward that will play, and we think that McLaughlin will be just as fine as a backup. And if you're just playing like those chess pieces, that's totally I'm totally fine with that. Like
I agree.
We want every trade to be a big trade, but it's like at some point you also overvalue your own players where you have like two guys on your team that that will be part of a big trade, and Ricky Rubio is not one of them.
Yep. I mean, at this point, J-Max just straight up better than Rubio, right? Or at least he could be.
I think he could be, and like Rubio's getting paid $17.8 million. Right. Like nothing. I know he's on the last year of his deal, but it's like if you can get McLaughlin for like, I don't know, 2 years, $6 million, like right. Okay, sign me up. Like that sounds great. Especially with McLaughlin, he's going to continue to try to get better. He's just one of those grinders. Undrafted, went to the D League, now G League for Brooklyn, came over, grinded the last 2 years on this weird, like shitty 2-way contract rule.
Yeah.
That's the trade. We'll see what happens again. Free agency starts today. And we're already I know, right? You're going to start seeing signings coming in, and we'll try to be, if the Wolves make a huge signing, maybe we'll record another episode tomorrow. Okay, let's go. You know what? Let's go to the card corner now, just to stick with like the draft stuff. Again, 3-star sports cards. They're fantastic. I'll try that intro again. You don't have to edit this, Julian. That people can just hear my mistakes. I don't care. Okay. Welcome to the 3-star sports cards card corner. Again, 3-star sports cards in Bloomington and in Little Canada. They're honestly so great. You've heard me talk about this like so many times, so I don't want to like preach, but so many people over the pandemic and over the last year and a half that have had time working from home have gone into their card collection, and I think the folks at 3-star sports cards can help you out. So go check them out. We're glad to have them as partners, and more importantly, Julian, more importantly than partners, friends of the pod.
Yeah,
friends of the podcast.
Friends of the pod.
Okay, so obviously there's not cards available yet. There actually might be like Panini like now cards available, like the virtual cards that they send to you. But now I always look through the draft class every year, and especially when it comes to like pick your team, like when like the first basketball cards come out every year, which I don't even know what the schedule's like. But like it's not a bad idea to look at the teams, look at the opportunities players will get, and then maybe look at what the demand for those players will be, and figure out who you want to target in any draft class. For me this year, and he's from Minnesota, so there's certainly bias, but I really love the Jalen Suggs situation in Orlando. Yeah. I think he's going to be able to play a lot. I think that he went 5th, so I think your casual basketball fans will probably not pay as much attention to him. I mean, and he's in Orlando, so like nobody will probably really care. Like everything he does will go under the radar, which will not do. Like that's not great for initial value, right? But like I think initially that means you'll be able to get in at a cheaper price, and you can, I think, get his stuff at a good price. And I just really like him. I'm shocked that Toronto passed on him, especially with
me too.
Like Lowry likely gone, and it seems like he might go to Miami. So I don't know. I'm all in for him. I think like if you're buying, I think if you're in like group breaks and you're able to get Miami, and like they're priced as like the 6th or 7th or 8th team.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good play because I think he's going to be like I think he has a chance to be the best player in the draft. So. And especially for a team that hasn't had a point guard in like since Jameer Nelson.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's going to be awesome.
If no disrespect to Jameer Nelson, he might be better already than Jameer Nelson.
I mean, I think we all kind of did a double take with the Raptors not taking him, but I think this is probably a better spot for Suggs, right? Than on the Raptors having to compete with Van Vliet. Like, I don't know. Yep. Speaking of cards, I wanted to show you this. My dad has joined the
your dad, great guy,
of people going through old cards in the basement. So look at these very, very old baseball cards.
Oh wow,
Aren't those cool?
those are sweet. Just found them in the old. And if
Yeah.
you're listening to this, watch the video on YouTube. Subscribe to us.
It's 3 different Vita Blue cards and 2 Catfish Hunter cards, one of which is signed. So I guess my dad was an A's fan.
Is there like, is he just like basking in like the nostalgia, or is he like, what are these things worth?
Well, they've been in the basement for 30 years, so he's like, well, they're probably not worth anything because they're probably not in great shape.
Yeah.
He said someday when I have a few hours to kill, I'm going to pull them all out and organize them by, things that might be worth something.
Yeah.
But I think it was just probably he was cleaning out the basement
And
type of situation.
Yeah. Wanted the distraction from something else and grabbed a few. Yeah.
Right.
That's sweet, dude. That
But
honestly,
cool.
I was talking to some guys at the bachelor party this weekend. Like they were just like, hey, I need someone to like just go through my stuff to like figure out what I have and what I don't have. And I think some of the guys at 3 Stars will do that, but also like, I'll do that for people. Like I enjoy it, but it is crazy because like one of the guys, he's like, even if I just have like $400 in cards that I didn't know I had, like that's worth, like to me, that's of huge value. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for everybody that's cool. Like you can take that step back and go down memory lane and like,
Yep.
And whether that memory is like you going to the card shop with your dad or going to a baseball game and buying a pack of cards there or trading with your buddies over recess or, whatever it is. Yeah, I think that's fun. Or you're 31 years old and you're still collecting, right? Like this.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up with some news around the league. Okay, Leonard and Chris Paul are going to opt out of their deals with the Clippers and Suns, respectively, although it sounds like both players are most likely going to return to their teams just on larger contracts with more guaranteed. So really no news there.
No.
Bobby Portis to decline the Bucks option worth $3 million, which
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. He'll get paid. I think Bryn Forbes also opted out of the deal. And then the biggest news we haven't really touched on yet is on draft night, they're like right away it was the Lakers are going to send Kyle Kuzma and Caldwell Pope and a first round pick to the Kings for Buddy Hield. And then
I think it was Harrell and Kuz or something.
Yeah, certainly could have been. And then like within 30 seconds, it was like, oh no, actually, I guess Russell Westbrook's going to the Lakers, and it was pretty much the same exact trade except for Russell Westbrook. I don't know where you stand. Like for the Wizards, the deal makes a lot of sense because you're just getting like all these pieces for and like Russell Westbrook played really well last year, I guess, like late down the season. Like who's going to shoot for the Lakers?
Dude, it's a mess. I do not do the Buddy Hield trade. Buddy Hield trade. That was the trade to do because that one you get to keep KCP, you get to what is it? I think you don't give up at least a couple of those picks. Like I'm really trying to find the Buddy Hield trade. Sorry, I'll get it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll find it. But I don't understand why you're getting Russ. Well, I guess I kind of get it, but like I was listening to the Zach Lowe's podcast. The Lakers have 5 players under contract, and they have something like $15 million left under the hard cap. And I'm seeing these reports today. It's like, oh, DeMar DeRozan's seriously interested in the Lakers. It's like, well, at that point, this doesn't matter anymore. How interested DeMar DeRozan is, unless he's going to sign for like the mid-level exception or the vet minimum, because like there's just nothing left here. Like it's those 3 guys, Alex Caruso and Talon Horton-Tucker.
Yeah, and like when in Talon
that's it.
Horton-Tucker is
like hyperbolic. Like there's no one left on this team.
No, you're right, and like. Talon Horton-Tucker, THH, can we call him that? TH? Maybe we just call him.
Okay, so really quick. Hield was just Harrell and Kuzma.
No picks. I mean,
his source,
the picks are in their 20s, and the Lakers won't. Yeah, so
right.
it's like,
So I think it was just this year picks, but it wasn't any like future first.
yeah, that's. I guess for me, but like it's the Lakers, so it's like now you have Westbrook, you have Davis, and you have James, and it's like, it's more of like that star power, but it's like nobody's gonna be able to make a shot on this team, like unless you're getting like just 4 shooters.
You're not though. Like,
yeah.
is Anthony Davis now like your best three-point
shooter?
Dude,
literally exactly what I said. I'm like, now Anthony Davis is like suddenly their best 3-point shooter.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I just like I'm struggling. They're going to be horrible on defense. Like, what do you want to do if you have AD and LeBron? Is you want to make them work as little as possible on defense, right? So you want to get like guys around them. I mean, we've seen this for so long. You want to get guys around them that can shoot and play defense, because like you don't want your 2 best guys to also have to be your 2 best defenders. Russ is a bad defender. He's also an extremely high volume shooter. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they do this. It makes me very happy though, by the way, because I hate the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, sure. Let's see how this works. But well, I guess I kind of see the upside, but
and I think there's like rumblings that Carmelo could sign there on the minimum, and it's like, okay, yeah, totally. Yeah. Bring back a team that 5 years ago would be a great team. Like,
right.
Yeah, I
agree.
Very
Lakersy.
Other free agents to watch as we kind of approach, and maybe by the time you're listening to this, deals are already done. But yeah, Paul and Leonard, Mike Conley, it seems like he's going back to Utah, but we'll see. They just, of course, the Thunder acquired another first-round pick to get Derek Favors. Just nuts. Kyle Lowry sounds like he's going to the Heat. DeMar DeRozan's really interesting to me. I don't know where he'll go, and certainly it won't be for as much money as he had before. Tim Hardaway Jr., Victor Oladipo, Dennis Schroeder, Bobby Portis, we mentioned. Andre Iguodala sounds like he might go back to Golden State. So Lonzo Ball is like really interested. Like him and Lauri Markkanen are very interesting to me.
I think Norm Powell will be interesting too. See where he ends up. It's pretty good.
So a lot of fun names to watch. We'll see if the Timberwolves, they'll end up with somebody. We just don't know who, and it probably won't be one of those top guys. But all right, Julian, we have to go to work. Everybody else, I don't know what you're doing. But if you're in your walk or if you're in a drive, enjoy it. We're glad you made us part of it. Again, thanks to DraftKings and our friends over at 3-Star Sportscards. We'll be back later this week, and we'll probably do some sort of free agent wrap up. Maybe we'll get a guest. We haven't had a guest on in a while. I do apologize because our schedules have been like completely bonkers for both of us in our personal life. So it's been hard to like consistently know when our episodes are going to go in from planning, like wedding planning, bachelor parties. Julian just got a new house, which like might trump all of that as far as like the time suck it is. So, yeah, thank you all for listening. Julian, thank you for being awesome.
Yeah, you too, dude.
And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.
Talk later.